while Kelly's coming on, I want to let you know that she's going to be talking to us about authenticity is your strength. So Kelly is a certified coach and a member of the Association of Coaching. She works with individuals to move beyond limitations and access their own wisdom to enhance their lives. Oh, so good. With self-trust, authenticity, and purpose. Kelly's own journey has taught her the relationship you have with yourself is the foundation for everything else to grow from. Oh my gosh, Kelly, I love that so much. Yes, yes, on every level. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here on Life Coach University's first birthday. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of, authenticity is something that is really a passion of mine. And just to kind of put this into context. So there was a time in my life that on the outside, everything looked absolutely fine. I, got to university twice. I was living in different cities. I was, climbing the career ladder, and everything looked absolutely grand on the outside. And I had a lot of recognition for my work. My life was very, very busy. I was always doing things on weekends. And in all honesty, it was very much, I was getting my happy fix on the weekend, pushing through the week, happy fix on the weekend, pushing through the week. And it got to a point where I couldn't keep doing that because that happy fix was no longer working for me. And I felt stuck. I was stressed. I was overwhelmed. I had anxiety. I was dreading the next day and the Monday. And it came to a head where I had to make change. Change had to happen. And what happened was I had to leave my career and take a pause. And when I looked back, everything I was doing, I was people pleasing. All my answers were coming from outside of myself. I didn't have boundaries. I always said yes. I was not good at saying no. And I literally just kept on, it was like a hamster on a wheel, just kept going and kept going. So when I took this pause out, at the time when I felt I hit that wall and I felt really stuck, I thought this was the worst time ever. But when I look back now, it was a gift that needed to happen to me because I needed to wake up, because I wasn't living my truth. I was living what I thought I needed to be and what other people wanted, what I thought other people wanted me to be. And that took me on a journey, and a journey that I want to share with you. So it was 3 things I'm going to name tonight that kind of helped me to find my truth again and start creating my life from within. And the first one of those was self-connection. And I kind of want to get you to think about, when you're with somebody, it might be someone you just love hanging out with, or it might be somebody that you've met and you just really enjoyed their company. If we were to kind of peel that back, often what we'd find in there is that they accepted you for who you are. They felt you, they heard you, they seen you, and there was compassion and there was care. There was no judgment. And how often do we give that to ourselves? I didn't give that to myself before. I didn't give it to myself. So I had to learn this. And one of the ways I did it, I sat with myself every day. I got pen and paper and I started to get out of this heavy head of mine into my body where all our feelings and our emotions are stored. I was like, how am I feeling? What's this feeling trying to tell me? What is it? Is this true? Are the stories attached to this feeling? Is it true? And started to really understand myself. And even when I was happy and excited and I loved doing something, I was like, what is it I loved about that? What is it I'm excited about today? Why am I excited? I really had to get to know myself, understand myself. And the other thing that I did was meditation. And now that was really hard to start with. I found that really tricky at the beginning. But what it gave me with consistency and commitment, it got me to observe myself. all these thoughts, all these beliefs that were kind of fueling my emotions, affecting how I acted. It was all old patterns or old stories. And when you meditate, you can become an observer of yourself. I used guided meditation to start me off. And I started to understand, this is my higher perspective. Because when we observe ourselves, we come from a higher intelligence. So then we can make more conscious choices. We can choose that feels right to us, that aligns to us, not old habits on repeat. So that was number one. Number two, that was my core values. Now, I had been kind of living literally just what other people wanted me to do, saying all those yeses and looking outside, always looking outside for the answers. I was never living the questions. And I had to do a lot of reflection and really discover what's my blueprint? What is my values that I want to live from? What makes my life meaningful? What makes me feel alive? What is really important to me? Because when we're growing up, we can inherit people's values, from religion, from culture, to family, to education, to society. And now I had to like push that all away and just find out what mine were. And when I did that, everything began to change, because I was no longer validating my worth outside myself. It all came from within, and it kept me accountable. Because if things didn't feel right, I go, what value aren't I honoring? What value have I let go? What do I need to tweak? So everything starts to come from within and then goes out. And now there's loads of values. There's hundreds and hundreds of values. But what I want to say, to put it into perspective, if someone said to me, hey, someone rang me up, know that dream life you want, Callie? It's all ready. You can hop over and it's all ready for you. But if they said to me, you can't take your authenticity, you can't take your truth, you can't take your freedom, you can't take impact, you can't impact anyone's lives, I wouldn't want to go, because it might look like a paradise island, but I'd be leaving parts of myself behind. So those are how we can kind of test what is really meaningful to me. How do I need to design my goals and my habits and my decisions through my core values, and everything begins to change. And so I'll leave that as a question for you to kind of sit with. And number 3 is something called shadow. But shadow's a big, big concept. So I'm going to stick with golden shadow, and I want to invite you all to do something. So I want you to think of someone that you admire. And it can be someone who's not with us anymore. They may have passed, or it might be somebody you don't know when you look up to them on a podcast host or social media or a celebrity, whoever that may be. And I want to ask you, when you bring this person into your awareness, what is it about them that you admire? Is it their sensuality? Is it their vulnerability? Is it how they express their truth? Is it the authenticity? Is it how their family values and how they honor their family? Is it their playfulness? Is it their courage? Is it their strength? Because why I'm asking you this, to name that one thing or 2 things, whatever you see, whatever makes you admire them, because they are a mirror and they are just shining what is inside of you. But what can happen, we can push those strengths in the background, because somewhere in our lives, we may have needed to be small and disown that part. We needed to be accepted. We need to make our parents proud. We needed to get that recognition of a teacher or a boss, and we've kind of disowned part of ourselves. And I want to kind of invite you to look, whatever you see in them, if you were to honor that and recognize that as your strength now, what becomes possible for you? And as I wrap up my segment and leave you with these questions, is I want to remind you, no one will ever be you. And no one will ever be everyone else who you're friends with. We're all unique, we're all authentic, and we're here to create from our authenticity. And your authenticity is your truth, and your truth is your power. Thank you for listening. and much love. Enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you.
Oh, Callie, so amazing. Each of you come on and I just think, what wisdom are you going to share? And every one of you, it just blows me away. But one of the common themes that I'm seeing is this: we've got to ask ourselves great questions, right? Like we've got to get our brain looking for the right answers, in the sense that we've got to ask the right questions to get the right answers. So if we're looking at what's not working, that's what we're finding. But we've had some amazing questions from all the coaches already this evening to redirect ourselves in the direction that we want to go. And I love that, Kelly, that you said, looking at someone else that we admire and what is it about them that we love and that we can connect to that. I want to just have a quick look at the comments. Tonya, I'm coming to you next, Tonya. So I'm just letting you know to be ready. In a moment, I'm going to be bringing you on. But first, let's have a look at the comments, Kelly. Okay, so someone said, wow, well explained with the Paradise Island. I agree. So such a great way to think about what is it that's really important to us. Oh, made me cry, Kelly, when thinking about who I admire. Oh, so beautiful, so beautiful. All right, we are going to keep this moving. Kelly, thank you so much for your wisdom today, for sharing it. I don't know whether to say this evening, this morning, today. Thank you so much. I'm going to move you to attendee now. And Tonya.